loves, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Shanice. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that way you stay notified whenever I upload new videos. And welcome to the family. All right, so I just made it into the hotel. So as you can see from that little clip, this room honestly feels like a whole apartment all in one room. I have a whole kitchen, a walk-in closet, which leads to a bathroom. So I am currently in Northeast Arkansas. So I had one flight today, which was from DFW to Northeast Arkansas. I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me, but it was one quick flight. It was only 42 minutes. It was a full flight. This month I am currently on reserve. So today I was actually assigned standby, or others call it airport ready reserve, which basically, you know, you're sitting at the airport from a certain amount of time. My standby shift started at 6 a.m. and I was actually assigned this turn around 7:30 a.m. I was sitting there around an hour and a half before I was actually given an assignment. I am actually good for a total of 4 days. So I am being used the first 2 days, which I already know they're going to extend or add to my trip for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm supposed to have just one leg back to DFW, but I'm already knowing that it's not just going to be one leg. This whole month has, for the first time, I've actually felt like an official flight attendant that is on reserve. The reason I say that is because, you know, the other months, usually on my last day, if I have like one flight home on my Okay, so I'm pretty sure the clip cut off at a weird spot because I ran out of storage. So it's actually a couple hours later. I had to go through, edit videos and, you know, get them out of my phone, whatever. But I believe the last place I left off at was basically this month, feeling like I've actually been on reserve, because all the other months I would have literally one flight home on my last day, and that would be all. Like, I would literally take that one flight, work that one flight home, and then I'm done. But this whole month, like, first of all, I was assigned every month. Every time I bid for a trip or something, I've always been assigned standby instead. So on standby, you know, they will eventually assign me a trip. I think last week was actually the longest I've actually been on standby at the airport before they assigned me a trip. I was on our standby is a total of 8 hours, but I was still waiting at the airport up until 6 hours, and then that's when they had assigned me a trip. Today it was only like an hour and a half, and then they assigned me a trip. But usually this month they would assign me a trip, which would usually be like 2 days. It would either be like a one turn or be a couple legs and an overnight. It was always an overnight, no matter what. And then by the time I wake up or later on that afternoon, I'll recheck my schedule and they'll add on to it, like all the way up until however many days that, you know, I'm working. So I'm still checking my schedule. I'm surprised they haven't added anything yet. I'm still doubtful that I'm literally just going to have one leg to work tomorrow. I'm highly doubting that. I would be surprised if I'm literally just working one leg and then I'm done for the day. Like, I'm still on call for 2 more days after that. So I got a question for my fellow flight attendants who is watching. Let me know down in the comments below, what is one of the first things that you do as soon as you get into the hotel room outside of the security checks? Obviously, you know, you need to do your security checks. Don't get comfortable. But I know for me, one of the first things is I take off my scarf and then I turn the heat on. Like, I don't know, I need my room hot for some reason for me to get comfortable. When I go to sleep, I turn it off. I need it cold. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys do. But I do have a 5 a.m. van call tomorrow, so most likely I'm going to be waking up at 3 a.m. So it is currently, I think, 7:30, probably going on 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna, wind down, try to finish, this little intro, get this all edited up, and I will, catch you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is 4:20 a.m. I am up. I feel, like I got a lot of rest last night, so I checked my schedule again, and I still just have one leg home today. I feel like they're gonna add it on me last minute like they did last week, so I need to make sure as soon as I get there, check my schedule, and then immediately try to call to be released. Last week I literally made it all the way downstairs, which that was my fault. Something kept telling me call them. I made it all the way outside to the bus shuttle and something just kept telling me do not get on the bus yet. So I called them before I got on the shuttle to the employee parking lot, and that's when they had told me, oh, we had added something. We had just added a turn to your schedule. And I kept refreshing my schedule, but it didn't appear. So I'm like, okay, just what's the gate? And then I went to the gate and it finally appeared on my schedule. So I need to, I'm going to make sure if it's still not, if my schedule still isn't updated by the time I get to Dallas, I'm going to immediately try to call them to be released for the day. That would mean my day ends around 7:30 a.m. So I have the rest of the day to myself. So I got 40 minutes to get ready and be downstairs. So let me start. Made it to the plane. So now it's time to go home. Hey guys. So as you can see, I am tired after 2 turns later. Yes, I said it, 2 turns later. After I landed in Dallas from Northeast Arkansas, I immediately went to go check my schedule. I made sure I kept reloading and everything. And they had added a Wichita Falls turn onto my schedule. I can't say it right, but they added a Wichita Falls turn to my schedule on our smaller plane, which our smaller plane, there's only one flight attendant, which was me. It was a quick turn. Again, my Northeast Arkansas leg to Dallas-Fort Worth was only 49 minutes. So the leg from Dallas-Fort Worth to Wichita Falls was 31 minutes. And then the leg from Wichita back to Dallas was 21 minutes. So it was a quick turn. So for those of you who don't know what a turn is a total of 2 flights, but they're going back and forth between a destination. So like for an example, if I go from Dallas-Fort Worth to Chicago, Illinois, and then from Chicago, Illinois back to Dallas, that is a turn. That is what we will call a Chicago turn. After I got back to Dallas from Wichita, I did the exact same thing. Like after everybody deplaned, I reloaded my schedule, reloaded it again, and there was nothing there. So I'm like, okay, I think I might be done. So, gonna go ahead and call crew scheduling to release me. I called and I basically said, hi, I'm calling to be released. And the lady was like, okay, give me one moment and I'll be able to do that for you. She put me on hold, and I had a feeling she was actually looking to see if there was something else she could give me. And come to find out, she did. So she said, oh, well, I have this turn that someone just called out for, and it was a Torreon turn. Torreon, Mexico. Or Terrion, I don't know how to pronounce it. Terrion, something like that. But it was basically a Mexico turn. I was honestly upset. Like, I didn't, cuss her out or do anything. I was very much professional with her. But I was feeling a little upset because I'm like, you know, we have standbys at the airport for this. Like, I don't know why crew scheduling always, you know, add flights to people who is already flying instead of giving it to the, you know, standbys at the airport. Fellow flight attendants, if you guys know why, please explain it to me down in the comments below. I genuinely don't know why. I don't understand why. Like, standbys is for emergency type of situations like this. So, and then on top of that, the terminal that I came into was a lot farther away from the gate that I needed to be at for the Torian turn. So they had to already send pre-boarders to the plane because me and FA1, they assigned both of us that, and we both was literally coming from Terminal E, and we needed to be at Terminal B. I was a little, you know, irritated, and, you know, I called for a meal break. Our meal breaks was 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes long. So I called for a meal break to give myself a little break because I was honestly, like, hoping to go home earlier. Like, I prefer if they add to my schedule and I'm on call for like X amount of days. I prefer if you're gonna, you know, use me to basically give me overnight, so that way I'm working the whole time instead of, you know, doing legs back to back in one day and then have to come back the next day to do standby. So I called for a meal break, which was 30 minutes. And, you know, after the, like, I want to say 10 minutes of my meal break left, I made myself to the gate. So I made it there, and it was like literally at the ending of boarding. This is when I found out that actually FA1 was also from, you know, another terminal. Because when I got on the plane, I thought one of the pre-boarders was my FA1. FA1 is Flight Attendant 1, in case you're wondering what I'm saying. I was introducing myself to her, basically saying, hi, I'm Shanice, I'm your FA2. I called for a meal break and everything, and she was like, oh, okay, well, I'm the pre-boarder. Are you FA2? I was like, yeah. She was like, okay, so we're still waiting for FA1, I guess, because I guess you both was coming from Terminal E. So that's how I found out that me and the original FA1 was coming from the same exact terminal, far away from where we need to be, instead of them, you know, assigning it to a standby that's already there. But whatever. I want to say maybe 15 minutes went by. We're delayed at this point. 15 minutes went by, and then the pre-boarder had called me on our, you know, phone that's in the plane, and she basically let me know that the FA1 had never checked her HI6. Basically, she never acknowledged that this turn was, you know, assigned to her. So they had to send another standby person to replace her. So in total, our plane was delayed 30 minutes before we actually left. We did the flights. The flights was pretty simple. It was honestly new to me because I never did a international flight before, and I always knew that if I ended up on a international flight, because international flights you gotta sign out, you know, fill out paperwork, and I always knew that for my first time, if I have to do a Mexico, you know, trip or turn, whatever it is, I always wanted to be FA2 and FA1 with somebody experienced, so that way I can see how they're doing it. So that way I know what to do in the future in case I'm FA1. And I actually got my wish. Like, I was FA2. The standby who replaced the original FA1, she, you know, more senior than I am. She graduated a month before me, so I think she's on month 5. I'm on month 4. But she had done Mexico, you know, trips before. So I got my wish. I saw how it was done, so I know what to do. And she was a cool lady. We made it back to Dallas. No, so our flight to Torian was 1 hour and 21 minutes. And then our flight from Torian back to Dallas was 1 hour and 35 minutes. So after we made it back to Dallas, we of course had to go through customs, which, oh my gosh, like going through customs itself, it wasn't so bad. And the only reason I say that is just because, you know, as a crew member, we have, you know, privileges. So, you know, basically we're able to skip lines and everything. So going through customs wasn't bad. It was the getting from my gate to customs was like so long. Like, it was so long of a walk. Like, oh my gosh. I am finally on my way home. I have a 2 p.m. standby shift tomorrow. Let's see how long it takes for them to assign me something, and hopefully they give me like a turn. But watch, they're gonna, if they give me like, I mean, not a turn, an overnight, but if they give me an overnight, watch, tomorrow on my last day, they're gonna like add 10 million legs just to make my life miserable. We shall see what tomorrow will bring. So I'm gonna go home and chill and rest, and I will see you guys on day 3. All right, so I am back for day 3 of standby. My standby shift is from 2:30 to 10:30, and I have to report to Terminal E, which is the terminal where our smaller planes, our 145 planes, fly out of. So which means I am on standby for our 145 planes. So if they assign me a turn or a trip or even a pre-board assignment, it'll be for our 145. Now, of course, it can change. Let's say they give me a trip, which means I have an overnight somewhere. If they give me a trip for a 145, and let's say tomorrow I only have one flight from that destination back to DFW, and then they add to my schedule, they can add a leg or a turn for our bigger plane, which is our 175. But to start out my day or whatever, it's gonna be on the 145. Now again, I really do not like the 145 because the plane is like so loud, and I'm by myself, and I have to do I'm basically responsible for everything. So I'm just on my way to the gas station, you know, get myself ready for work, like get gas and everything, get myself ready, and then I will see you guys there. Just assign a turn to Chattanooga. So now I'm on my way to the other crew room because I've been sitting in the E-terminal crew room for the past 4 hours. It's around 6:30 now, so finally have an assignment. Alright, so as I previously mentioned, they gave me a turn. I was actually spoke too soon that even though I'm in the 145 standby, you know, terminal, that's mainly if they do give me a leg or anything, that's what they'll put me on, was a 145. I'm guessing they didn't have enough standbys in the B terminal because they pulled me from the E terminal. So I am on the 175, which is a 2 flight attendant plane. I am position 2, yay. And it's a overnight to Chattanooga. And we also have an IOE student on my plane. It's always been weird to me that, you know, right out of training, we're qualified to be an IOE instructor. I'm only on month 4, so I'm pretty new myself, but I guess, you know, I know enough to train them because it's really not a hard job at all. I'm thinking it is close to like a 2-hour flight, but I will, you know, give the exact details later on when I get to my hotel. And since we get in later on tonight to Chattanooga, we don't have to leave until I think 5 in the afternoon. We won't make it into Dallas until like 5 tomorrow. So since we do get in later on tomorrow night, I highly doubt they're going to add to my schedule. So I might get the infamous 1-1 that I've been wanting. I decided to get on the plane early. I think I'm like 20 minutes earlier than however long we need to be. I didn't want to wait outside, and then good thing I came on the plane because both FA1 and our IOE student is already here. So let's set up our galley so that way we have time to just sit here and do nothing. pretty much done setting up because the plane still hasn't been catered yet. So once catering gets here, I have everything that I need. For today, now we're here now at the hotel room, which is, I'm feeling this hotel room. We have a 17-hour overnight, and we have an IOE student, so this is her first overnight. This is again Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is again Chattanooga. Our flight was 1 hour and 35 minutes, and it was a completely full flight. The flight was pretty easy. I managed to work the entire flight time, so it didn't even feel like it was 1 hour and 35 minutes. It felt like as soon as I was done with service, like I was cleaning up, and then that's when I heard the captain tell us that flight attendants prepare for landing. So my plans for the rest of the night is just go and warm up some food. That's the only downside I don't like about this hotel room, because there's no microwave inside the room. So I gotta go and warm up some food, eat, and then go to sleep. All right, so today is day 4, our last day, go home day. It is currently 2:50 p.m. Our van time is 4:45, so I still have roughly about 2 hours to actually, you know, be ready and have to be on the shuttle. But let me show you guys my view, because I wasn't able to show you last night because obviously it was dark. So yeah, the view really isn't, you know, much to see, mostly a parking lot and just buildings around me, but the room makes up for it. So I've actually been up since like 10 a.m., but I've mostly been, you know, lounging around, just, you know, chilling, relaxing, enjoying the room. I love the shower because it has 2 shower heads. One of the shower heads, you're able to, you know, remove it, and you're able to like literally like wash your back, like make sure you're hitting every spot of your back. So I really love that shower. But we're off for 3 days after this, and then we start next month, which I'm on reserve next month again. So I am speaking it into the universe. Hopefully there is going to be some major changes coming, maybe in the next couple months. When it happens, I will let you guys know exactly what it is. But I will see you guys later. All right, I am all dressed and ready. Everything's packed up, so I'm ready to go. I just have 10 minutes to get downstairs. So I just wanted to say really quickly, if you are someone who have motion sickness, or even people who may not know that they have motion sickness, trust me, I was one of those people. Never felt motion sickness in my life, but once I became a flight attendant, and being on turbulent planes, I realized, yeah, I can get motion sick. So if you don't mind wearing bands on, and you don't have to wear it all the time. I only wear my bands, which is little compression bands. I just wear my bands when I'm in position, when I'm working position number 2, because the back of the plane obviously gets a little bit more bumpier than the front of the plane. So whenever I'm position 2, I put on my bands so that way I don't get sick. I forgot to put them on yesterday, and it got a little turbulent, and all of a sudden I started to feel sick. So I'll make sure I put them on now. These are really cheap. I think I got this at either CVS or Walgreens for less than $10. It's cheaper than, you know, buying actual pills and, you know, having to always, you know, buy them once you run out. So these last, they're stretchy, so they can, you know, adjust to your wrist. So that is my little suggestion. Get some compression bands. They just go on the compression points in your wrist, and yeah, it works. Hey guys, so I made it back to Dallas. I just made it to my car. That flight was 1 hour and 41 minutes, and I got the exciting news that I was released for the day. So I am on my way home. I didn't have to, work another trip or anything. So this is the end of my 4-day standby shifts. And I will catch you guys next week because I'm going to be off for the next 3 days. So I will see you guys then. Bye, guys.